Commission meeting of Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I think in the future we're going to have to move that flag. We're going to have to move that flag a little bit further back. Debbie, roll call, please.
Commissioner Jackson? Here. Commissioner Cohn?
Here.
Commissioner Hurd?
Here.
Commissioner Klein?
Here.
Acting Commissioner Grosjean Thomas?
Here.
President Zuckerman?
Here. First item is adoption of the minutes of August 15th. If there are no additions or corrections, may I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a resolution, an item that we have discussed previously, to approve a change order number 2 for the building exterior, actually windows and exterior as part of the same project, in the amount of $200,000. Attached is a memo from the architect, and I think that it would not be remiss to just review very briefly. The original contract was to replace the windows, which were not architecturally in line with the bathhouse and the park architecture, I should say. But that's not the reason it was replaced, is because they were in terrible condition and leaking. There was associated stucco work, and then we came to discover additional work would be required. The original contract was $192,300. The first change order, which we approved at the last meeting, was to restore the rear facade of the bathhouse. The total together would have been $332,000. Luckily, we had grant money, and so the local match was only $89,300 to be divided between the city and the town. We were aware of the possibility of additional work being required, and on further investigation, we have an additional memo from the architect, and we have before us change order, resolution to approve change order number 2 in the amount of $200,000. Unfortunately, unlike the previous work, this will be entirely the burden of the city of Rye and the town of Rye, and the normal approximately 60-40% contribution. So we've gone through a lot of work preparing this and investigating it, and Mayor Cohn and I, as the public may know, the Village of Portchester, Rybrook, and Mamaroneck do not participate in the financing of the park. It's the city and the town, and Mayor Cohn and I have had extensive conversations, and I just want to thank Mayor Cohn for all his work on our behalf and working with me to come to a conclusion that I think is best for the park and for the town and for the city. So thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Gary. But back at you.
Thank you. And with that, we have some pictures, but let me have a motion and a second first, please.
So moved.
I'll second. I do have a few questions we can talk about after the motion's made, yeah?
Now, let's show
Yeah.
Debbie put up a couple of pictures, I think. We have some pictures.
I got it. Hold on.
That's the back.
It's It's almost like a before and after.
That's the side, if I recall, yeah.
It's hard to even understand what's happening. Oh. So that's brick in front of old brick, or kind of?
It's concrete brick. The brown
I
is the
see.
deteriorating concrete.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, I almost think, looking closely at it today, it looks as if it's mud brick that's crumbling.
Mm-hmm. So these are huge gaping sections that have been uncovered.
Yes.
is that, do we have more pictures, or is that it?
Now, were these parking spots, there's parking spots right in front of those walls, right?
Yes,
That is correct.
Were those open this summer, or,
no,
okay, for the,
No, they've been offline.
they will be back online, but of course, the season is over, so.
yeah, so once
But
the
they will be back.
repairs are made, those parking spots will be
The,
completely.
yes, the repairs to the rear have in fact been made.
They have?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what that
That's
first
finished.
picture was.
That's finished.
Can you go back to the first picture? So that's the rear, and that's fixed.
So these spots are reopened, as soon as the work is finished.
Well, that's not the after picture.
Pardon?
That's not the after picture, is it?
That was, I shot this today.
Okay, so it is the after picture.
Yeah, it has
Okay.
the new windows that look great. I had a question about the power washing element. I know that some people had been talking about that.
Yeah, Josh raised that with,
yeah.
that's because there, and I sent Josh a picture of it, that's because there's mold. Part of the section that's not gonna be replaced is mold, and that has to be power washed.
And so, but I mean, are we worried, is it, I guess if it crumbles with the power washing, they're gonna have to fix it?
They'll fix it. I mean, the price is the price that it is. We're not going over that.
Okay.
And the resolution is not to exceed.
Right.
But I mean, and sorry, so just so that I understand, so he thinks he can do it for 200,000. What happens if he's like, this is just gonna be way more?
Pardon me?
What if he decides after opening up some of the walls that it's gonna be more than 200,000? What happens then?
Well, he would have to come back to us, but I don't expect that. I don't expect that to happen.
Why not? Just because he's evaluated this?
It's been evaluated, and this is what the price is. And if that changes, for some reason, they'll have to come back. But right now, we're only approving 200,000, and I would expect that we won't approve any more than that.
Yeah, no, I guess I just wanna make sure that we get the work done for that amount.
He was on site today, wasn't he, looking, or yesterday, looking at
he's been there.
the worst
Yeah,
places?
Yeah, I have a video from today where you can see significant deterioration. Maybe it's that same picture you have. Anyway, well, I'm excited about it.
all right.
I think the fear is the building's so old that once you open something
Yeah.
up.
Well, that's, you know,
Exactly.
that's the problem with all of these buildings. You don't know what you're gonna get into once you start the work. Sometimes it's better to knock a building down and to build new than to do that. And we're not doing that in this case. And, excuse me, I don't know that we could, since it's historic. I don't know what problems we would run into if we even tried to do that. But right now, we're redoing the exterior, and hopefully it'll be beautifully done and will last us for many years. And then we can get on to the other work that we have planned for the park. May we take a vote now? Debbie, please call the roll.
Commissioner Klein?
Yes. I didn't hear the climbs. Sorry.
Commissioner Hurd?
Yes.
Commissioner Cohn,
Yes.
Acting Commissioner Grosjean Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
President Zuckerman.
Yes, and I would be remiss if I didn't also thank the Friends of Rye Town Park. And I think that they have provided a terrific service, and they continue to provide terrific service to the park. And I don't think a lot of work that gets done in the park and the beauty of the park would be the way it is without the Friends. And thank you, Diana and Jamie and all of your associates for all the work that you do and your advocacy for the park. Even though it seems sometimes that the commission doesn't agree with doing what you would like us to do immediately at the time, I think that that mostly we end up doing what you ask us to do. And I think that it's a wonderful partnership that we all have together to make the park better for the residents of the city and the town. So thank you again. All right. Any comments from the commissioners? No? You know, we skipped public comment. Do we have any public comment? Anybody on Facebook?
There's nobody on Facebook.
Okay, nobody on Facebook.
Well, there are two people on Facebook, but there are no comments on
No
Facebook.
comments from Facebook? Diana has a comment?
I'll be
Thank
really
you.
brief, but I just wanted to say thank you so much. We were just 1 month ago here appealing to find this extra money somehow, and I'm really grateful to the Town of Rye trustees and the City of Rye City Council for coming up with these funds. I think we saw today, I walked by and saw that as they've exposed some of the front, there's just yet more of these massive gaping holes. So it's really important to fix this, and I'm really grateful. I know it's not easy to find money at the last minute like this, but I'm really grateful. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to now have the management report. It's in your agenda. I hope as everybody has read it. Russ, do you have anything to add? Would you like to comment? No?
No, I don't really have anything to add. I think I covered just about everything.
I would like to point out our 4 free, well, it's more than 4, a Free Tuesday program. Originally 4 free Tuesdays for residents, and now I guess 1, 2, 3, 8 free Tuesdays. We had a total of 763 attendees who, for whom the entry fee of $5 was waived. And that revenue totaled $3,815. I can't say that's lost revenue because we don't know how many people would have come if it wasn't free. So if nobody would have come, we wouldn't have lost any money anyway. But I think it's a nice thing for the residents, and I think that it's something we can look at for the future, for the commission to consider extending the program or not, as the commission desires. But it's something to be discussed at when we discuss the budget.
Gary, I just wanted to point out in the manager's report, just because it's one thing near and dear to my heart, and that is the public restrooms at the park. And I just want to point out that, you know, when they talk about the deplorable conditions in the restroom, that on busy days, the women's restroom has difficulty handling the volume of usage. And that's why you're seeing a lot of what you're seeing, which has kind of been something that I've been advocating for, you know, the aging infrastructure in that bathhouse. And it really does impact the public's ability to enjoy the beach. And just want to point it out.
I think that we all agree with you, and we have applications in to redo the bathroom. We'll find out in December if that's granted, and if it's not granted, we have other sources that we will attempt to tap, other sources of grant money, that I have no hesitation in trying to get hold of. So,
Speaking of bathrooms, Goose bathroom of the park, I just wanted to note that, you know, Russ mentions it in the report, but it does seem like it's become a really big issue, which is strange. I don't know why suddenly the geese are flocking to the park, but just raised, that's something I've heard, you know, comments on in addition to the public restrooms, but I don't know. Russ is looking into professional solutions, so thank you.
To that end, I would also offer up my staff to come take a look. I have someone who does that type of solutions.
Well, we have two professional companies that have come to, and they've given us quotes on what the cost is gonna be and what their program entails. We'd love to have a third or fourth, you know, and stuff. It's
well, I
because
think he's gonna do it for nothing.
Well, advice, just some advice
Advice.
on possible solutions. Because you can also, I mean, it depends what you want to do. I mean, it can be as simple as chasing them with dog. You could be, addling the eggs, or USDA does removals. So.
well, the program, the proposals that have been offered up to us combine simulated predators, dogs, to chase them not just out of the park but out of the pond, because usually they'll go from the park to the pond, then they get chased from the pond, and also addling eggs. We don't know right now if they're actually nesting in our pond area, but at some point we would find out. I did not know that there was possibility of a removal process. I know we can't do it. We can't shoot them. Can't pick them up and throw them in the garbage can.
There is the possibility exists. USDA does it within a certain radius of the airport.
Mhm.
This is probably outside that radius, but
Right.
I know that they also offer the services. What I can do is I can get I can get some of my staff
Yeah,
to at least come down, take a look, and give some advice on the solutions.
that would be great,
Possible
Jason.
I
If
just
you
want to
put me in
announce
touch
for
with
the-
him.
For the benefit of the public, why Jason is saying this. Jason, why don't you tell the people what you do in your day job?
Right. So I'm the director of conservation for Westchester County Parks.
And the mayor?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Public servant to the core.
underachiever. Oh,
Right,
great.
and both those professional organization, outfits that have given us proposals, both state point blank that you're never really gonna get rid of them altogether. It's not possible, because we have a food source and we have a water source, and it's two things that they thrive on, so.
Right.
But you can make life uncomfortable for them. And I think what put me over the top this summer was a woman, obviously a mother, because she's holding an infant, and she had two toddlers with her, and they're walking along the beach path, and one of the toddlers wanted to run into the grass, and the mother said, "Oh, no, you can't, she didn't want, because there's too much goose grease there." And when I overheard that, it just kind of broke my heart, because the park is really, people have put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to improve the turf, and it's really starting to show signs of improvement. And now we went from maybe 2 dozen geese to now, I think Diana last time counted over 60. So now we went from 2 dozen to 5 dozen in a blink of an eye, and I don't know if that'll end. So it's something that I think we really it needs to be addressed.
We need to address this. It is a problem, and we will address it one way or the other. I mean, obviously, if there's a cost involved, we have to discuss this during budget season and allow for it. So,
Something to be considered as we go into the budgeting process.
Yep.
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
I got one other topic. if you don't
Yes.
mind. Dog park hours, I sent you an email.
You did. I sent that, I didn't get a response. I sent that to Debbie and Jeff. I don't recall.
I believe it was a temporary, it was a one-time.
Right,
So it would need to be voted on again.
okay. So I think, and I don't have it, I should have looked, I thought we did October 15th to
Russ, do you recall?
March 15th.
Honestly, Emily, I don't think it was decided until, I'm sorry, I don't think it was decided, my memory might not serve me, but I don't think it was decided until much later. I think it was kind of the first quarter of the year, January, you know.
Why don't we look it up? And
So
we'll
you
put it
just
on-
look it up, but
We'll put it on the agenda for
Okay,
next
we
month.
started
Sorry.
discussing it then, but, you know.
Yeah, I think I raised it October 11th last year and asked October 1 to May 1 until 10. And then there was, okay, right, and then, yeah, Lindsay and I were talking about it in November. So I guess it was a later. I would, with the colder temperatures and the slower, patronage, I'd love to see that extension happen again this year. People are certainly asking.
I certainly, from personally and from the park management point of view, I would really have no objection to that. And I think maybe we coincide it with the changing times. So from
Times, okay.
whatever, it's like November 4th, I think we set the clocks ahead, or back, sorry, and then at some point we'll set them back. So
Well-
maybe we tie it into the time changes. Just a suggestion.
The earlier the better, the more use, if we did October, because we don't really have beachgoers in October.
Yeah, except in October, we still have some events in the park, that need set up time in the
Why don't we
early
just put it
morning,
on
so-
the agenda for the October
Right, and
meeting?
then we.
Let's
if
look
we-
back
If we
and
can
see what-
standardize it.
Yeah.
If we
Let's
can
see,
standardize the time,
let's
great.
Thank
see
you.
let's see what the dates were that we established by resolution. Do the same thing. If we want to change it, we'll change it. If we want to make it a permanent, we'll make it permanent.
There was no formal resolution passed at all. This was all a voice vote and agreement. There's
On a
We
nothing.
could do a
on a
resolution.
trial basis,
Correct.
basis, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Which,
We could do,
obviously, that was a resolution, but there's no written document.
well, we can make a written document. so-
And it was last year on October 18th.
Okay, so we'll do the same thing this year.
Great, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, anything else? Comments? Mayor Cohen, when did I say we get out?
Wow, I think we need to talk for 30 more seconds.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Wow.
Thank you.